So under the infant industry, there is some development economic analysis, such as the economic structure fall behind of less developed in comparison with the low the developed countries. It overcomes the dualistic economic structure in the development that a modernized the manufacture coexists with the technologically lagged back traditional agriculture. This dualistic economic structure is a problem exists in the China's economic development because the agriculture sector is relatively less developed. However, China advanced the industrialization of the manufacturing sectors before the development of the agricultural sectors. This type is called the dualistic in the developing economics. So this type of, as a general state of developed industries wish to exist the industry develop more, hope that industry structure would improve, and the transformation of the structure is always a process and result of the country's economy. And relatively, the less developed countries are always hope to achieve economic development by the transformation of the industry structure. And the purpose of the development of economy is relatively an important area of the developed economy fall behind the structure. And the process of the economic development is the process to overcome this dualistic economic structure so that the industrial structural transformation is regarded as an important task equal to the economic development. In the reality of the international economy, some countries that have achieved a certain degree of development, such as South Korea, is considered to have achieved a successful transformation of their economic structure. And the assessment of this protection of the infant industry is that for the relative less developed country, face giving the young industry is necessary to protect. And in the same game rule, under the protective condition, excessive free trade may damage the interest of the relatively less developed country. And it has proved that but the purpose of the protection is enabled by the protector to the progress. In the end, it doesn't need to protect at all. And in the market, self-supporting, so it is not a simple protection. There are many ways to protect the young industry. But in the present, many countries adapt a subsidy type state procurement policy. And this relatively high price adapted by the states in the procurement process on the domestic production material. Through this material, the relatively less developed domestic industry be protected and grow. For example, in the Chinese garments, they use their self-produced, domestic produced Audi automobile as garments vehicle that foster the growth of Chinese automobile industry to a certain level to prevent it from being tough competition condition with exported vehicles.